talk to your leads, talk to your peers about it. There's this term that they have at Blizzard called the grand reveal, which is like, no, don't look at my things. I'm going to work on this for 2 weeks until it is perfect. And then I'm going to show you. And it still sucks. Okay. So, yeah, that's something that they avoid doing at Blizzard. They really try to have people work with each other on a daily basis, talking about their ideas, getting those out in the open. And that helps for a lot of reasons. Not only does it help everyone make sure that they're on the right track, and it helps you make sure that you're on the right track, because you're like, hey, I'm going to give our character a bazooka. And they're like, wait, no, I really like making our character should like unlockable skin DLC. Bazooka's in me. All right. Anyway, so yeah. So also, if you are stuck on a feature, it helps people understand like, hey, I can help you out. You're like, I don't know what I'm doing. And you're like, no problem, I can help you out. Also, again, if you're behind, struggling, I got a little bit excited, went on to the second bullet point without even stopping. But yeah, we have, there are people here who, like I've been working on games for about 5.5 years now. And we have a lot of other people who've been here with us. Well, a few people who've been with us since the beginning, but a lot of people who are very experienced programmers, and not everyone has the same level of experience. That's totally fine. That's why we're here. So if you're ever like confused about something, don't know what's going on, or if you feel like it's really taking a long time to get something done, one of us might know a better way of getting it done faster, with less work done on you guys. So again, you're struggling with anything. If you're like someone's like, all right, cool, this feature should take 3 hours for you to do, and you're like, it's been 8. Let us know. We'll help you out. And then, again, midterms. We have to pass our classes. Yeah, I see some people like but in theory we have to pass our classes. We should have to delete that part. We have to pass our classes, and sometimes you have emergencies, things like that. We understand. We don't want anyone to think that because you haven't put in 20 hours into VGDA this week that we're going to think you're no. We don't want you to think that because you haven't put in 20 hours or anything like that that your team's going to think any less of you. We all understand. There are things that come up. Let us know. We'll still make this whole process work. And then when you're ready to put in more time, again, let us know, or just be here. Be like, hey, I can put in 8 hours. We're like, great. We're going to give you 8 hours of shit to do. It's going to be awesome. And yeah, so that's how that's going to work out. And if you kind of follow these, you don't even necessarily have to do more work than you've been doing. This is just going to help us make better use of the work that the hours that you've already been putting in. So that was like the bad news. And now it's just going to get, now everything's coming up VGDA. All right, so Dev Kit. We had our auditions for professors. We had held auditions. There we go. I can read. We held auditions. You know what? I don't care. Whatever. I make games. So we held auditions for prospective hosts for the Dev Kit, and the people we've chosen to represent us are Josh Tucker and Wahona Delgadillo. Yeah, and Wahona's not here yet, but she will be. And yeah, we're really excited about that. They work really well together. Funny. Talked about what was it?
Prince of Persia.
Yeah, Prince of Persia, and that other strategy game, whatever. All right, yeah, but it's cool. We're going to start recording shows this Friday, and then in the future we're going to be inviting developers from all over the place to come talk to us, and that should be a lot of fun. But if you have, in the meantime, if you have any ideas about things that we want to talk about, because again, the Dev Kit's about talking about kind of current events in the game industry, educating people. If any things that you want us to talk about, go over things that you think would be useful for other people to learn about, send those ideas to devkit or devkit.vgda@gmail.com. Did I spell that right, Amy? Yeah? Thumbs up. Good. All right. Yeah, so making progress on basically everything. We have stickers! Yeah, some really cool ones actually. So the guy who is the lead gameplay programmer at on Overwatch, and the guy who is the lead sound designer for all of Blizzard. are coming to talk to us. We met them at the UC Irvine Talks, and they were really cool guys. And Russell Brower has been in the industry like forever. He was at Disney for a really long time. He was one of their big music people for a while. And they're really stoked about what VGDA is, what VGDA is about, and they want to come see what we're doing here and give us some advice. And we're going to learn from it. It's going to be really cool. We don't know the exact dates, but it should be happening in the next month. But we'll keep you updated. There's like one more thing. Yeah, that's a lie. That's not all I've got. One last thing. Kate Edwards, we've been talking about her basically every week. Kate Edwards, I've been talking to her back and forth, and she's been talking about how, everything we do is awesome and things like that. She's been talking to us at DICE, talking to us to other developers that were really, really cool. And she gave us the opportunity to send some of our leaders to GDC for free. She gave us some free GDC tickets, so our design lead, Emily Wilder, and our sound lead, Cameron Johnson, are going to be going up with me. I paid for my ticket. I had to, whatever. Anyway, we're all going to be going up to GDC in a couple weeks, which is going to be a really tremendous opportunity for VGDA. We're going to be going up there just telling hundreds and thousands of developers, getting them really drunk, and being like, you should come down and give us stuff. And we're like, yeah, that's a good idea. And so that's our game plan. Everyone wants to contribute to the drunk fund. I'm just kidding. That's what the dues were for. All right, yeah. So that's kind of our game plan. We're going to go up there. We're going to have nice, fancy business cards for VGDA, and we're going to be just those make it rain guns. But we're going to have those for business cards, just standing on top of top of the conference. Yeah, it's going to be a great time, and I'll be just FaceTiming the whole thing directly to our Facebook page. I'll be like, Blizzard! Actually, that's all I know. I'm just kidding. Yeah, so really excited about that. I'll be hanging out and talking to the folks at IGDA there as well. And Kate's talked to us about maybe becoming an academic chapter of IGDA, but we're still kind of trying to figure that out. We've had some good experiences. Kate has been our really good experience with IGDA. Some of our other experiences have been not so great, so we're still trying to figure out what that is. Okay, so yeah, short talk for me because making stuff. That's all I've got. Any questions, comments, concerns? Oh yeah, we have a thing going on Friday. Crystal, tell us about the thing going on tomorrow.
Okay, so tomorrow is our mixer, and it is in the USU 205. Does everyone know where that is? It's in the after-hours study area, and it's a meeting room. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So 205.
It's pretty sizable, I think.
No, I got the biggest room.
I'm mixing.
Okay. So it's from 3 to 9, because our Dev Jam is from 12 to 3, so our mix is 3 to 9. So go right after it. And we still need a lot of stuff. So my assistant Amber has put a Google form on the event page and just kind of list what you want to bring. You don't have to list oh, I'm bringing this food and this drink. You can just bring one food item if that's all you can afford. It doesn't matter. Anything is helpful. So yeah. And if you guys plan on going, if you could please RSVP to the event because we are only buying pizza for that many people that are going. So. When did you want to get it, though? Because I don't know if we should have it at 3 o'clock. Because I figured, we should do it maybe towards, 6 o'clock.
Sure. All right. Pizza's at 6, y'all. Be there.
So if you want pizza, make sure you RSVP to the event because we're only buying pizza for that many people.
Yeah.
Okay?
RDS the VP. Word. Thank you.
Yeah, so don't just click interested, say going. Even if you're only showing up for a couple hours, just say you're going, and then I'll buy pizza for that many people.
Yeah. You can scan the system. You can be like, I'm going, but I'm not really.
My friend does that all the time.
Yeah?
She says she's here. I know.
That's like
My friends
that's like
all the
half
time.
people on Facebook.
She's such a troll. So yeah, any questions about tomorrow, Peter?
It's not really a question, just bring a TV.
Yeah, we got.
If you guys want to bring a console, please list it so we just know what's going to be there. We really do need monitors as well. If you guys have one like laying around, please bring it. That'd be
Not the lizard, but like TV monitor.
I'm totally gonna bring one.
Yeah, totally gonna bring it like just lying around. Everyone comes up with one. I thought.
Yeah, that would be super helpful if any of you guys do have an extra that you could bring. That would be super cool. So,
Whoa, Bessie.
any other questions?
Yeah, monitors, games, food. It's gonna be there. Bring some of your own. Magic. Sorry, what?
Someone say gathering.
Yeah. So there might be some non-video games there. I have Carcassonne. Oh, Anthony's not here ananymore. He always used to bring Settlers of Catan.
Oh, no.
Oh.
I can bring settlers.
Yes. All right. My man Elisha. Huh. All right. Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. Yeah. That was really all I have. Okay. Yeah. So art? Sure, art. Let's do that. Actually, it's, yeah, sure. Yeah, it'll take me like a bit. Although, as for the GDC thing, we're going to be kind of going like all over the place. But if there's a talk there that you find that you'd be really interested in like learning more about, you're really interested in learning about the subject matter, let us know, and we'll see if one of us can go there and learn some things and then regurgitate that for you. Yeah.
As a note, we only have expo passes, and those don't let us into
Oh.
a lot of the big summits.
Yeah.
There are some that are available for those, so just make sure.
Jimmy, how did you send me your thing? Was it in the VGDA? Another thing. So UC Irvine is really interested in working with us to establish kind of like a larger collaborative network of like collegiate game developers in the Southern California area. So they were really impressed, like I was bragging about last week for too long, but they were really impressed with our levels of legitness, and so yeah, they want to work with us. We'll also maybe be reaching out to like USC and UCLA because Tim Ford, the lead gameplay programmer on Overwatch, actually founded UCLA's game club when he was there. Yeah, Emily?
Studio name.
Or not?
Okay.
Okay. Everyone, no, we can't go back from that because everyone's like, nah, say my name. Anyway, so there was some idea that it'd be kind of fun to come up with like a studio name for like the VGDA development team. I know, it's pretty exciting. It also creates a lot of like weird issues as well. So it's like, okay, so we have a studio name. Does that mean the studio needs its own website? Like, so does that make VGDA the publishing company, and then this studio? So it kind of creates some weird things. We're trying to sort our way through that. So we will keep you abreast of the situation once we have a better understanding of it. But yeah, something that we're kind of working on. If you have an idea for how like a studio name could work, because like, is it a permanent studio name? Does the studio name change every semester? Like, you vote on that? How does that happen? If you have any ideas about that, who do we email?
Ghostbusters.
There we go. I like it. Okay, I'll give you a hint. You can see it right now, unless you have, less than 20/20 vision.
Dang it.
It's contact.vgda@gmail.com. You have any ideas, anything about anything, you want to just let us know how your day was going. Peter's there to listen to you in the late wee hours of the morning. Hold your hands as you cry into his lap. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what we're doing. And here's June with the art update.
So you clearly left the stage that time.
I think I was leaving the stage that time.
Come on.
Wow, Jimmy, why'd you break it?
It decided that I didn't want to agree with you. So it was like, I'm not doing this. Alright. Week 6. We're going to go straight into concepts. There's all the stuff that's been submitted this week. Let's go back to that one for a little bit. This one looks kind of like Aang. Just gonna say. It looks kind of like Aang, but it does have a lot of attributes that we can use when we're finalizing the character. I think it's really the blue face paint and maybe the bald head that allows us to attribute that to
Anginess.
the anginess. Yes. This is what we did last week, and just to show you a little bit of a before and after. And these are all the variations of colors that we did this week. So we're not shy of hard-working people this semester. All right. Again, last week that's what we did, and a little more of a closer to polished version of Zimbri. The best silhouettes ever because I did them. No. I spent a little too much time doing these, and I barely submitted them this week. But I really wanted to play the silhouette because I think that's really important for us to get across what kind of character Zimri is without having to, overly state his character in terms of text. Some more concepts by Colton. And something that's a little more finished by Ellen, and he looks really angry. It's probably because they gave him a toothbrush at the monastery for janitorial purposes. And I can see why he left. No, but it's pretty good. And I think that we're getting to a really good understanding of who Zimri is, and better every week. So we had skeptic discussions this week on both Monday and Tuesday, and thank you to you guys that actually participated. I know that it's really outside of the time that is really appropriate to be asking you guys for your time, but I really appreciate the fact that you guys took some time out and to really discuss who this Zimri character is before we finalize him. And because of that, I pushed the finalization process to next week. So by next week, we'll have a finished asset of Zimri. And the last Skype discussion for Zimri will take place on Monday, March 7th at 10 p.m. And as long as you submit your concept art for Zimri before then, it will be discussed. And we will be pulling up the Trello page and making sure that everybody's on board with what kind of, elements will go into the character in the game. And points will be distributed to the people that do contribute their time to talking about Zimri this time. Some more concept art for the gods. Most of these are for Splendor. The last 3 that you've seen are for Splendor, and that's because she's the most fleshed out character in terms of content so far. And we've got another one for, oh no, that's it, I guess. Okay. But I think seeing as how I think we're going to be doing 3 gods, I think it's going to be Splendor that's going to reach finalization first, and then probably Order because she comes first in the actual addressing of the gods in the game. Some world building environmental assets. Some statues of each of the gods, or variations of one and the other. So these are just color tests of how the environment could look like when contrasted with a darker shade for the foreground and play space, which is the middle ground. Some more. And a concept that was, or something that was submitted for in terms of Splash. So it's kind of more of a visual development kind of a approach in thinking about it less in the actual game context, but and more like as if we were envisioning the world in 3D. So the middle ground block dimensions are going to be 100 by 100 pixels, as to my understanding. And that would mean that, I mean, I did a little bit of math here, you don't have to read this. But it's basically the entire play space will be 10,000 by 10,000 pixels, which will be what our fresco dimensions are. Alright, some UI stuff. This stuff was uploaded by Aaron. I think in the finished product, we may be going with a symbol. However, I don't think we will, completely transpose these symbols into our final product because they already mean something in real, in our world. And I feel like to kind of diverge from that and make this game a little bit more enclosed and have its own feel, we'll have to create new symbols, maybe even based off of these ones. Some fonts.
I just made 2 more, so if you want to take a look at them.
Yeah. I mean, a little late there, but I really like the elegance in the first one. I did talk with Michael in maybe trying to bring that out in some of the other designs, but I also like the accents that he's got in there as well. So tasks completed. We've got Zimri, the gods, world building, environment, and UI. Lots of work got done this week as well. And of course, pay dues, provide me your email, and begin concept art characters. But what we're really going to do is finalize Zimri and finalize the middle ground building blocks this week. Before, I think we will have that for tech to implement into the game by probably Tuesday. And we will conceptualize environments, puzzle elements, pressure plates, floor switches, harmonic architecture, more, gods, and the fresco. So the next 2 weeks are going to look like this. We will have finalized assets for Zimri and the environments next week, concept art for the gods, environments, and the fresco, and we will have finalized assets on the 17th for one of the gods, most likely Splendor. We will begin rough animations for Zimri as soon as possible once we've got the asset, and we will do more concept art on the environments and the other gods. Questions, comments, concerns? All good? All right, awesome. That's it.
All right. Design, and then Cameron, will you load up your music so we can hear after design's done? Cool. Thank you.
There we go. Yay, hello. We got more stuff done this week than it feels like, which is, I guess, a good feeling. So the big thing is that we got a narrative overview, which will be helpful for a ton of the team. So it's just like a summary. It's all in bullet points, going beat by beat, happening what is the actual physical ongoings of our story. On the narrative side, establishes our pace, it establishes our rhythm, it basically tells like what the characters are feeling when they all come in, that kind of thing. So it's a pretty handy tool, I think, definitely for the narrative team, also for sound, also for art, and getting the feel of what the emotions are. Probably for tech too, somehow. The basic gist of it, because it's like a 4-page document, so I'm not going to type it all up here. But goes in the cave, is upset, meets Order, Order sends him into the cave, rinse and repeat, or well, he saves Order, Order teaches him his virtue, rinse and repeat for the other gods. Return back. Gods are angry, ready to give up on humanity. Zimri teaches them not to believe in humanity and stuff, and now leaves better person, having discovered harmony and everything, and ready to help humanity. Right? Very brief, but that's the general overview, and obviously this will be a lot better when we do the final thing. But yeah, so that's a big achievement. In addition to that, we have voice documents for them, which again mostly serves the narrative, but I think art would be really interested in seeing these as well. But kind of how they speak, how the gods, just how we differentiate them, because we are going to have the dialogue and they all need different personalities. We've decided that they're all going to talk in some kind of verse, which is really cool. As a literature nerd, I like that. And Order and Grace are going to use the Royal We, Splendor might not. This is something we have to mess around with, but kind of, they all have this like kind of melodic quality to their voices, but as you can see, they all have very different personalities. I'm not going to read those aloud, but they're pretty cool. I'm pretty proud of the voice, and they're all the documents are really in depth, and I'm really proud of what we've done with those. So you also have a puzzle asset list, or the start of one. So puzzle assets are us going through our puzzle designs and being like, okay, we need this thing, this thing, this thing. Right now it's focused on art and sound, but after speaking with Michael, we'll probably, I guess, work on doing stuff in tech as well, and seeing how they want it. But it's going to be something that we're going to be updating for weeks and weeks and weeks, that we will, it's going to be really important for us. So right now it's the basic outline of one, but as we start finalizing puzzles, as we start streamlining them, we'll be able to update it.
Question. Is that a document? The
Yeah.
actual list?
It is a document. Yeah, all of these are documents that are on our Trello, and are shareable on Google Drive and everything. We also have, as I mentioned last week, FAQ and glossary. Now this is actually up. It is on the design Trello. Go read it. There are lots of answers. Mostly right now it's narrative because it was Ashley's idea to set it up, but we'll be working, as we get more questions, as we get more confusion and stuff, we'll be working to keep it updated to make sure like everything is covered. Glossary is also really cool. And, if you are confused about anything that design is putting out, please ask. Content.vgda, message me on Facebook, post on the VGDA main page, message literally anyone on design, message your leads, message anyone in the team who has like been here a year. They will point us our way. Just get your question to us and we will put it in there. We will link you the docs, please. Like there's,
Sorry, I just want to interject really quickly. With the subject on the subject of Trello, it's not always the case that you can just like search for these Trello pages. So if you need access, all of your leads and almost all of the sub-leads at this point, because we've had some additional sub-leads added to the team, have access to all of the Trello pages. So if you need access to any Trello page, let us know. Of course, you can email the team lead responsible for it, but you can also email or message any of your team leads or any of the people who are kind of helping to run the development effort, or like me or anything like that. You can tag me in a Facebook post, whatever. We'll get you on there, get you the information that you need.
In addition, leads generally post like reference material from the other teams on their Trellos, so we can be better about doing that. Just let us know.
Quick question. Why are you Lenifer Lennington Lennis the third on Facebook?
It's a long story.
If you like showing it?
It originates from Neopets, but now it helps keep cosplay stalkers away from my page. So
Okay.
that is the short version of the long story. But other cool stuff. Zimri will have dialogue. This was a big point of contention in design, but we beat it out. There was a cage match. So he's going to be speaking. He's going to be having dialogue. I think this is a good choice because it'll allow him to be like the voice of humanity. So it's not just like the gods yelling at you. It'll allow us to build up his character more. It's another thing for writers to write, which we're really happy about. Another little thing, like we finished the tutorial last week, but it was like him just going into the cave on a sunny day and coming out on a sunny day. We did this cool thing where now he's going to go and fleeing a rainstorm. So he's like wandering out in the rain, the storm. He's like trying to figure out this map and trying to figure out where this cave is. And he's like angry and miserable and wet and lost. And he finds this cave and it's like,
Eldorado.
a little bit. I wasn't thinking that, but now I see where that was. But I think you guys are good enough not to draw that. But yeah, it's a cool thematic theme, tonal theme. I think it adds a lot of narrative juice. And actually, it calls back to a rain retreat, which is like a kind of Buddhist monk thing where when the monsoon season starts, they all kind of go into their sacred spaces and meditate for a while and then go back to the rest of the world while when the rain goes away. So that's cool.
Just to be clear, when you say voice for humanity, you don't mean that the person actually has a voiceover
No.
speak.
Yeah, there will be no voiceovers in this game, but he will have dialogue written to him as opposed to being a silent protagonist. So next week we are figuring out a name, I swear to God. I know I've been saying that for like 3 weeks, but other stuff has come up and been more important. But now that Art is actually starting to do some logo work, we need to figure out a name. Again, anyone, obviously design team, anyone else, if you have suggestions, there's a document in the Designs Trello folder. Suggest us, email us, Facebook us, carrier pigeon us with your name ideas, because anything helps. We'll be finalizing puzzle archetypes for our levels, which means like each level is going to have like a certain type of puzzle that it's going to have. That was a bad session. Sorry. Each level will have a sort of type of puzzle, and each of the 3 puzzles on that level will be variations. We're going to be figuring out those, kind of streamlining the puzzles that we have, finalizing some of them. On the narrative end, we're going to be splitting up into strike teams, so we will be having a dialogue team, which will be starting to do the dialogue. We'll be having a mythology team, which will get together with Art and probably other people from other teams and start figuring out mythology. And then answering questions, please. Again, any questions, let us know, because this is a lot. Okay. Cool. All right.
Actually, I was pointing at Orion. So.
Don't make me cry. Hello. So this week we wrote some god music. So I have a couple examples of each of the gods. Again, this stuff isn't finalized. It's just something for me and the other leads to see if that's the right direction to go. And then whatever direction we decide to go, we'll go into more depth with that, if you get what I mean. So first up, let's do Grace, the one we did for Grace. It's loading. It swears. There we go. So yeah, I really like that one. That one, I like the aloofness of the piece, and I think it fits Grace nicely. So it's definitely in the right direction for that one. For order, we got a couple ones, but there's one that everyone really liked. So yeah, I'll play that for order right now. And this one is an updated one, so the other leads haven't heard this one yet.
How fucking cool is that? How fucking cool is that?
Yeah, can you put that shit up on like iTunes or something? I want to listen to that one.
Yeah, Amy wrote that one. So
Yeah.
So yeah, it's cool. So last but not least is Splendor, and so yeah, don't play from the beginning. Is that it?
Is that?
Yeah, I think that's it. It's a work in progress, but
Sure.
yeah. So for Grace and Splendor, the direction we're taking right now is still sort of up in the air, but these pieces definitely were getting there. I think for order, that's definitely set in stone, and we're going to work from that forward. Maybe change up the instrumentation, stuff like that, to make it different. All right, and then also we did some studio work this week. We had Andrew show us some tips on sound designing, and so everyone on the sound team benefited from that. And also we experimented with recording live music. So what we did is we recorded some flute music, and then I put the live music over MIDI tracks, and this is one of the main themes I played last week, but live. this one.
Yeah.
So yeah, keeping in mind that Amy got the music, she was the one playing crew. She got the music like 30 minutes before we started recording. None of us knew what we were doing in the studio when recording live music, and I only got the tracks to mix today at like 2. It sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
With a little more time, and both on the performance, on the recording side, and now that we know actually how to record music using the tools that we have, and giving us more time to mix the tracks, I think we're on track to have some really cool live music up in the hizzy. So, yeah, stuff to be really excited about. I think this main motif, the 3 notes, da 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 da, that one. I think we're gonna take that. That's gonna be like Zimri's, like, that's me. That, like, him in musical, like his name in musical terms, if you get what I mean.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so really cool stuff coming up. For now that we're getting more concrete, like play-by-play narrative stuff, both level-wise and narrative, we are gonna start trying to score the levels. Time isn't really a factor. There's gonna be, the tracks are gonna loop, like 16 bars or 24 bars, something like that. It's just going to loop forever. So it does, as long as you're in a certain section of the level. So it doesn't. We don't actually need the physical level to write it. We just need to know what goes on in the level. And then once we see the arts and how the gameplay works later, we can edit the music a little bit, and then have a final product to be put in the game. So yeah, really exciting stuff. Any questions, comments, concerns, jokes? No. No, I don't. I'm not that funny. Alright, thanks guys.
Yeah. And,
Oh, and, sorry. I'm gonna post all these on SoundCloud, at least the ones that we're gonna go off of, and then put it on the VGDA page so everyone can listen to them on their own time and stuff and get excited.
Yeah, so the most rewarding part of game development, I feel, is when everything comes together and you see it on screen and you see people playing it and like everything, well, you know, not even necessarily working because, you know, charging through the collision walls a couple weeks ago was pretty fun. So, you know, not necessarily working, but next week we will have a game where we have static Zimri flying around, an unanimated Zimri running around. We'll have our terrain blocks. We'll have, you know, at least maybe some music and music-y stuff going on in there, even if it's just kind of like a placeholder. And then the game, like, mostly at its, like, core functionality. So it's taken a little bit longer to reach that point than it has in our last 2 projects, but that's because, like I said before, we took a gamble this time. We decided to take on something that was a lot more complex, a lot more challenging, but I think it's also going to be a lot more rewarding for all of us. So for those of you who have kind of stuck around and have been putting in work every week, or most weeks even, really, like, it's been such a pleasure working with everyone, and all of the developers that I talked to at UC Irvine or at the Beer Wednesdays that I've been going to, like, we tell them about our game concept, and they're just enthralled by it. So you guys are working on something really special, and I hope you guys feel that way the same way I do. Now, do we have a build on one of the types team's laptop that we can show off, or is there?
It's Mac. It's Mac. Google Mac.
Do you have VGA?
I don't know.
If it's a new Mac, you probably know.
I think I do.
Well then. Yeah? 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 Yeah! Alright.
Wait, is it old?
No, never mind.
Never mind. I'm sorry. What happened?
False prophet. Clarion.
Oh, yeah.
No? Okay. So Josh will bring it up for us in a sec. Yeah, so once we're done with this, we'll read off our level ups, throw candy at people, and then get to scrumming. Scrum! Sorry. Also, people are, also another thing that's been coming up in talking to people is that they're like, wow, you guys are using Agile? Yeah, we are. Keep that shit up, because that's what they use in the game, well, that's what a lot of people are using in the game industry. Oh yeah, this one thing.
Good times.
I'm sorry.
Yay! Okay.
Yay!
There we go. Okay, so I haven't really messed around with this too much, so there's only so much I can tell you guys about this. Do you know more about this, Ken? Do you want to talk about it and I'll just show it?
Yeah, sure.
Alright.
Oh, I think he's here. No?
Yeah? No? Alright. Alright, ready? Here, we'll start with the generation.
So can you tell us about what we've been what the tech team's been working on this week? What's been updated?
Yeah, we finished our.
Hey guys, thank you.
We finished our minimal viable product this week. Once it loads.
Never.
Yeah, I think Michael has also been having trouble trying to get loads. So we'll have to open up the task manager.
Yeah. Sometimes it'll freeze my computer, so.
Yeah, bugs. Is this a thing with Unity or with our game successfully crashing people's computers?
Hard to tell.
Okay.
It,
I mean, I'd be fine with either one.
it usually runs fine the next time I open it,
Okay.
but it's possible it's the generation, like, going off the screen or something.
Oh,
and then freaking
okay,
out.
gotcha.
Hard to know.
Residual generation is still very much kind of frontier territory as far as game development goes. So people give us really weird looks when we tell them that we're doing that. As like the people at UC Irvine are like, oh yeah, whenever someone says procedurally generated, we just say that no, you can't do it. You can't do it in the time frame. So
Okay.
we're doing it. We're cool.
So the first thing is you probably can see is that we changed the tiles so they sort of run off of each other. We also that's really long. We've increased the size of the corridors, so during this week we can start getting corridor puzzles in there. This is the puzzle room prefab that we created last week. When a room is generated, there's a random chance for that to spawn. I think that's it for yeah.
What did you cover? Did you just cover the generation?
You pretty much walked in as I started.
Oh.
As far as generation, this is where we are at. We've also finished some puzzles, which we can probably switch over to the test scene.
Do you want to do food puzzle or just test screen?
Just the testing. So if you go to the left, you'll see these three columns there. If you press E, a color should show up. There we go. So the point of this is that you're supposed to match all 3 colors, and then the door should open. There we go. Yeah. So if my lovely assistant goes down from the puzzle room.
Oh my god.
Okay. So if you go to the right. Oh, you don't have.
It should be like a spread.
I
I don't think you sync the changes.
I synced everything.
I don't know if there should be a sprint in our meditative game, but
Yeah, I don't think so. Okay, so that's weird.
Do you want me to
teleport.
zoom out? See if
It
it's
should be
synced.
there. That's weird.
Sure.
Yeah, it's not there. I guess just go to the blue color since I guess you don't have the most updated version.
Alright.
Whoops. So go to the food puzzle.
I'll restart the changes.
Yeah. So here is one of the puzzles that we show. If you press the E button, the note should start over there. Well, you go on
The red?
yeah, hit the red note. It should be passing by, and if you go under the note or under right when the bar hits it, the door should open. So should I just do this?
Go ahead. Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing.
All right. So let's see. Let me do this. All right. Screw that.
you failed.
Let me try this again. I got this.
Part of the cards, Michael.
There we go. Okay.
Sure.
So there were a couple things that we were going to showcase, but for misfortune, it's not synced to the latest updates. But what we also wanted to show was that there were going to be a note stack where there were 2 buttons where when you would press the button, it would go up, and then you hit a down button, and it would go down. And after you reach a certain point, it would go back to the top. So you can make puzzles that involve getting the right note or getting it in harmony, and you can adjust the said notes to that harmony. Now, you talked about the generation, right? How we now have a set. We know exactly how large the tile should be. Now, if you didn't say before, it should be 100 by 100 pixels. Now, this was the old one. You can see all the space in there. That's why we had the issue back then when the player just had super high velocity, would just go through the wall. So for the artists that are making the tile assets, just make sure that it's within 100 by 100, or it fills in the 100 by 100 pixel size. Now, the character itself, the character model would fit within it, so it would make sense for the player object. Now, what we'll be working on next week is more refinement to the generation. There's been a little bit of problems with making the rooms huge because now there's less places for it to go since it's huger. So we're going to have to make a little fail-safe in case like it gets lost, because when it gets lost, like it will just keep finding it till the end of time, and you have to open Task Manager to shut it down. So,
Okay, there's the problem.
yeah, so that's why we need something to check and say, hey, you've been generating for too much. Let's start over. So that's going to be a primary task for next week. We'll also be working on some puzzles that involve more rhythm, like say puzzle where say there's a flashing light and the player has to hit it right when it flashes. So yeah, any questions? We're all good?
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys. And I'm sure the art leads have gone over this, but just in case anyone doesn't know, you guys should all be working at 300. Is it PPI? DPI. Okay, there we go. Yeah, 300 DPI. So, does Tech Team have any level ups this week?
Yeah.
Did I get those already, or am I just being dumb? It wouldn't be the first time. No. Wasn't a VGDA chat. So, if you guys like, you can do your groups while I pull up the list of people who are leveling up. Design, I always send you off in some corner. Where do you guys want to be this time?
Does anyone else need the board?
Does Art need the board? Jimmy, does Art need the board?
I don't think we need it.
No? Okay, so design up in front then.